Hey there, Squirrel Army. How's it going? For today, we're discussing some of the Lord of the Rings cards. This is Orcish Bowmasters. You can join the Squirrel Army by subscribing. Alright, so it's a 2-mana 1/1 with flash. Okay, that's not that amazing yet. But still, that's not horrible. When it enters the battlefield, okay, so we're getting immediate value. Seems good. And whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, it deals 1 damage to any target and you amass 1 orcs. So instead of the old amass, which amassed zombies, you amass orcs. 6 of one, half of the dozen of the other. I believe with this, you don't amass on the same token. So if I amass 1 orcs once, or whatever, I get a 1/1. If I amass another orc 1 time, or whatever, I get another 1/1. Now, I'm not sure about this because could be the same token, not too sure. So you could, if you have an amass orcs, be amassing it bigger. In other words, once you get that 1/1, then you get a 2/2 effectively because you're putting an additional power on your orcs. So, I'm not too sure how amass orcs works yet. I don't think they've actually put out anything that shows us how it kind of works. Actually, is it on the other variant? No, don't think it does have it yet. But yeah, it's one of those things that we'll have to wait a little bit on rules clarification on how exactly that works, but whatever. It's still quite good. And, I've heard a bit of discussion about this card. Of course, I've got to talk about it as well because, well, it's a fairly darn good card. Pinging 1 thing for damage, sometimes, rarely that's relevant, but mostly you're just going to ping your opponents. So, if you've happened to find that they have, some random Ort ones or whatever it is that they've got lying around, then you can obviously ping them and kill them and whatnot. But honestly, there's not that many amazing 1/1s in casual Magic, whereas in CEDH there's a lot more, obviously. But still, that's all right. And just making, 1/1s effectively when people draw additional cards. Now, it's not just for the first additional card they draw, except for the first one they draw in their draw step. It's for every card, so it's not just the second card or whatever else. It's any card. So if they draw 5 cards, with Shamanic Revelation, or they draw 3 cards from with Sylvan Library or whatever, anything like that, if they have any card draw effects, which, again, most decks that aren't, jank decks do have at least some amount of. So, yeah, people are going to be drawing their second, third, fourth, whatever, etc. cards most of the time. This works kind of weirdly with something like Esper Sentinel or Rhystic Study and things like that, because when you cast spells and you don't pay for their, Rhystic Study or Esper Sentinel or whatever else, they get a card. So even though it's not on their turn, you still get the effect. So that's really, really good. So if you don't pay, you're actually getting some benefits. Yeah, it might not be equivalent to what they're getting, which is a card, but you're pinging something and getting a 1/1, so it's pretty darn good. I'm thinking I kind of want this in my Chatterfang deck. There's a lot of decks that it can obviously go in, but I'm thinking it'd be good for that deck. But I do need to figure out how the amass works. If it's you get a 1/1 and then you get a 2/2, like it builds it up, makes it bigger, then it's probably not that good. Yeah, like it still could go in a deck that other people might want to build, but not the type of build that I want to build. But if it is multiple bodies, like I get a 1/1, okay, cool. I get another 1/1, blah, 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 etc. Like if I get a 5/5 instead of getting 4 1/1s or 5 1/1s, then it's way worse. Like to me, as a player who wants to play Chatterfang, because I want to make as many different bodies as possible, not just the biggest body. So I want to go wide instead of going tall. So if this goes wide, absolutely, I'm like, breaking off an arm for this thing. But yeah, I have to wait and see how it kind of works and whatnot and that sort of thing. I hope that I might dig through some of the other MS cards and see if they have the rules text on them somewhere. That or just maybe look up a mass orcs token somewhere, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I still think this is quite a powerful card. Yes, it's on perhaps the higher end of casual EDH to a degree, but that's fine, That's where most people kind of fall, in my opinion, that actually play in stores or online or whatever, that you actually get games with. They play at above precon levels or upgraded precon levels. You don't see that many people out there with their precons or whatever, or jank decks, You just don't. You do see a lot of this higher end sort of stuff going on. So I'd definitely be up for this in a lot of decks. It's kind of feels like a super staple in CEDH, but of course I could be wrong because I don't know hardly anything about CEDH. So I don't know. It might not be good enough because it doesn't say lol you win the game or tutor for the card that says lol you win the game. And that's what a lot of CEDH is. That I find it's either it has to be staxing, and this is to a degree, but I don't know. But it does have that ability to kind of defend you, and it has that ability to get rid of some of their permanents for literally 0 mana. So those things are pretty good. It does slow them down in a sense, like even if they don't have any permanents or whatever that you can target or that would be worth targeting. Well, maybe they do have if you're drawing 5 cards, but still, like, you've got to know that they're drawing 5 cards or whatever it is, You can't be sitting there going, oh, they're going to draw a card. Oh, now they're drawing another card. Oh, okay. Are they going to draw any more cards? Should I start pinging their, whatever, their big thing? Not that they have that many really big things in CDH, but again, like, are you going to start wasting time when you don't know if they're going to draw more cards? Like, you more want to directly go, okay, face, or whatever, kill your Ort 1, or kill that Ort 1, or whatever else. Like, you don't want to be just pinging something for no reason unless you've got something that says, kill everything that took a damage or something like that. You don't want to just waste the effect that you're getting. You want to be actually, moving that effect forward. You don't want to just have it sitting there and you are pinging something and it has been pinged, but are you going to get to kill it? Is it going to do anything? Yeah, it's got less toughness in a sense, or it can, survive less damage, but if you still haven't got anything that can block it, or they don't draw enough cards because they can see what you're kind of doing, then it's kind of like, well, it was a moot point all along or whatever, unless you've got something that says, give neg2 to something and it happens to just have 2 toughness left, or neg3, neg4, whatever else it is. So there are very fringe things with it that you'd have to kind of start thinking about going, now am I going to run this? Am I going to run that? Am I going to just run some of the spells that literally just do damage, like, the gain life ones that are in black? There's a couple of them, not too many, and not very many super efficiently costed. I don't even know if there's that many instances, actually, but still, you could start thinking about those things, but is that really what you want to be doing? Don't know. It's tough, because again, if you're in a CEDH deck, their lists are pretty much, dead set, and you're not going to basically change them because they're just so clad in iron, because there's so much, just this is the best thing that you can play. That's it. There's nothing else, so it is tough to break through that. It doesn't draw you cards, which I get, but again, it does give you card advantage in a sense, generating those tokens, which, again, it might just generate 1 token, but whatever. It also kind of generates card advantage by killing things or whatever, or at least dealing damage to your opponents, lowering their life, meaning that you'll get closer to winning sooner. And actually, there's a few of those effects, like the Grixis guy. What's his name? I can't remember. The guy who does all the stuff with wheels and stuff like that. That'd be really good in a deck like this, where you're just like, okay, everybody wheel. Okay, everyone draws 7 and discards 7s. Oh, BTW, I amass 7 orcs and you each take 7 damage. Plus whatever other ping damage, group slug effects you kind of have or whatever. But that is what I think about this card. And I know I'm a little late to the party to a degree. Always a little late to the party, but still, trying our best here. We're still trying to get through school and all that, so stuff happens. And again, we're in Australia over here. Crikey, mates. So it's a bit difficult sometimes to keep track of everything that's happening over in the US and with releases and such. So sorry that it does sometimes take as long as what it does, but, we try our best here. But anyway, you guys can always let me know what you guys think of this card. Am I so super wrong? Write your thoughts down there in the comments below. And hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope you'll join us again in the next one.